Hi everyone, it's me, Shay. So I'm making this video before Destiny gets a chance to put hers up. It's Tuesday today, but she hasn't put hers up yet. I'm doing it now because I have time and I have makeup on, and I know I'm going to put it off till Thursday and do it last minute again, and I really don't want to rush to do it, so I'm just going to do it now. Anyway, it's severely snowing right now. Like, maybe I can show you. It's freaking ridiculous right now outside. See if you can see. Yeah. I don't know if you were able to see, but it's pretty much just a wall of white outside anyways, so that's fun. Did I just make you dizzy? The wind is outrageous. It's like 25 miles an hour or something. It's crazy. Anyway, and I'm going out in it. Super smart. Every time we have a snowstorm, I always go out in it. Not on purpose, because I want to stay home. Anyway. So yeah. We're talking about college. That's getting on track now. Talking about college. And college type things. Okay, so I am 28. I don't like to admit that. I like to say I'm 23 or 24. This video is all over the place. I don't know why I'm not that hyper. So I'm 28. And I have been to college. I went when I was 18, fresh out of high school. My best friend at the time and I were supposed to... My best friend and I at the time, we were supposed to go together to our institute in Atlanta. At that time, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I was still like, oh, I'm going to be... I knew I wasn't pretty enough to be an actor, an actress, or a professional, or a singer or anything like that. But I still wanted to be in like the entertainment industry, and I had always come up with videos in my head, and I write, so I'm good with storytelling and all that, so I went to school for video production to be a director. So that was my dream for a while. So anyways, we were supposed to go down there together, room together. She flaked out on me. Not a big surprise since she done it later on in our friendship. Whatever, that's another video. So she flaked out on me. So I went all by myself, and I knew no one down there. I ended up... The school set me up with somebody off campus. This girl was horrible to me. She would always invite her friends over, and they would smoke weed every single night. I have no problems with you smoking weed. I don't fucking care, but I'm here to get an education and to better myself, and I was not in the party mood at the time. Her friends would always bug me for a ride. Like to go to the bar or whatever. I'm like, first of all, or the club, I should say. It wasn't a bar, it was a club. I was like, first of all, you're not even old enough to drink. I was so uptight at that time. I'm not even gonna lie. But I was there to get an education. I wasn't there to fuck around. And it got so bad, like the weekend of Thanksgiving. It was actually on Thanksgiving. This bitch. I'm on the phone with my family, seeing as I'm like, I was in Atlanta. I live in Wisconsin. So I'm pretty far away from my family. First time I'm away from them for so long, and I'm on the phone with them, with my mom, and she comes in, she's banging on the door wanting her phone. I'm like, listen here, bitch, your mom lives like 20 minutes away. Chill the fuck out. And so I threw the phone at her face and hit her in her nose. I moved out the next day without telling her, without leaving my half of the rent for that month. She packed up while she was at work and I was gone. I drove all the way through and came home. So that's my first college experience. Not that great. The people at the school, she went to the same school as I did, obviously. She was going for interior design or some shit like that. The people at the school were nice. The people, my other classmates were nice. I was actually forming friendships before this bullshit went down, and I was liking what I was doing. I was liking my classes and everything. I'm a huge nerd. I love to learn. I pretty much soak up knowledge like a sponge. If I'm interested in it, if I'm not interested in it, I just kind of goes over my head and I'm like, no. But I mean, I loved it being in, I was on my own and going to school. I loved it so much. And then this bitch had to ruin everything. And I handled it wrong. But again, I was 18 and this was my first time away from anyone. I should have gone to the school and told them the situation to get into different housing. But I wasn't thinking. I was just thinking, can't be here anymore. Because I didn't know what she was going to do. She had her friends over. She had 2 chicks and a dude over. I didn't know what they were. I was scared. They were going to like fucking beat me up or something after I threw the phone in her face. So yeah. Did not end well. Then a few years later, I decided I was going to try again. And I went to the Art Institute in Chicago, which is only like an hour away, maybe a little more, maybe like an hour and 20 minutes or something, by train. I took the Amtrak there, and then it's just like a, I don't know, 15-20 minute walk from the Amtrak station to the school. So I scouted it out first, make sure it was doable and all that stuff. I don't even remember what I was going for because I went to school for 2 days. And then I stopped going because they told me through the school that I could get a pass for a one-time fee and I wouldn't have to pay using the train however long. I think it was like for a month. I could use it unlimited and I wouldn't have to pay. And so I was like, all right, set me up for that. They didn't set me up for it because I didn't tell them soon enough or something like that. And I tried to get the student fee for the Amtrak tickets because it was considerably less than the regular fee. And no, they wouldn't let me. They're like, oh, that means high school students. I was like, what the fuck high school student is riding the Amtrak from Chicago to Kenosha? Who the fuck does that? No. Ain't no high school students riding the Amtrak for that. I was so pissed. And I didn't have enough money one day, and I started to cry because they were like, oh, you have to get off at the next stop. And it was somewhere in bumfuck Illinois, and didn't know anybody, and I didn't have a cell phone. And so I started crying because I was like so frustrated and I didn't know what I was going to do. And so I started crying, and the guy next to me, he was so sweet. He was like, I got it, don't worry. I was like, really? And he's in a nice business suit, so he was probably coming home from work, and he was like, yeah, don't worry about it, I got it. I was like, thank you so much. I don't know what happened. And I never went back. Because it was expensive and I couldn't do it. The whole reason I was like, okay, I'll go here to school in Chicago, as opposed to going like somewhere else in the United States, is because I'm close to home. I can still live at home and I can still commute, and it'll be cheaper. I can't live in the city because the student housing was fucking expensive as hell. I was like, really? It was crazy expensive because you're in Chicago. You're living in a city. So I was like, I'll just live at home and that's the cheapest way. Nope, that was still expensive. So that was my second college experience. And then I gave up for a long while. I just gave up on trying to go back to school because I'm gonna get emotional in a minute. I gave up because it's so expensive and I'm so poor. And I really want to further my education and better myself. For a while there, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was working retail and I was like, well, this is good enough for me. I'm never going to be anything more than just somebody who works retail. Maybe I can be a manager one day, and there we go. And that's what I was just going to do. Just work my way up in retail and voila. And then I figured out what I wanted to do with my life, kind of. I was always interested in psychiatry, so that's what I currently want to do. I want to go to school to be a psychiatrist. I would love to work with children one day, a child psychiatrist. I know actually a few people online who I roleplay with on Tumblr, and they are going to school for psychology as well, so I can pick their brains kind of without going to school. But no, that's what I want to do. It's just so crazy expensive, and I'm still poor. Right now, currently, I don't have a job. I haven't had a job in 3 years. Not for a lack of trying, just for a lack of jobs. So I can't, afford to pay anything. So a friend of mine, actually, one of the roleplay girls, she's like, when you don't have enough money, that's when you should really go to school and take advantage of the system. And I was thinking, maybe I should look into that. I had no idea how I should start by doing this, but for all you poor people out there who want to go back to school, apparently you can work the system. I don't know how. If you find out, let me know, please. My friend, actually my best friend, is going back to school as well. She's going for psychology as well. She's taking classes online. I don't know if that's for me because I would get way too distracted. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to read my article today, blah, blah, blah. Oh, what's Tumblr doing? Because I'm right there online. So I don't know if that's good for me, but no, for some people, I guess. So yeah, I guess you can manipulate the system and go. I would love to do that. I would love to go to school. Further education is important. I know a lot of people who went to school and they're not using their degrees. When I was working at one of my retail jobs, a lot of my friends there were in school. When they graduated, they were still working retail because there was nothing that they could get in their field. Um, it's still like that probably, but it's getting better, I heard, which is good. So, I got the hiccups now. So yeah, I think if you can go to college, you should. Don't go if you don't know what you want to do with your life. That's just a waste of time and money, and you'll regret it later. And so you should definitely wait. Parents shouldn't put too much pressure on their children to go right away. It's easier if you go right away. But if you don't know what you want to do with your life, it's just a waste. So I think once you figure out what you want to go for and you have a goal in mind, then you should go. Otherwise, just hang out and see how bad retail is, and then you'll realize you don't want that for your life. Oh, retail. It'll make you hate people. So anyways, that's my thoughts on college. Next week, we're going to do bucket lists. That should be interesting and fun. So, yeah. Share your bucket list, I guess. Or your thoughts on bucket lists, and then share your bucket list if you have one, I guess. We'll do that. I have a bucket list. I call it shit I want to do before I die but never will. So, yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see what's on that list. Alright, I guess I'm gonna go. I'm way over because I was rambling about college because it's so important. To me, anyways, it is. So, alright, well, I'm gonna go and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye. Beside the point. But I am 28. I don't know what that noise is. If you can hear it. What the fuck is going on? Anyway, you probably didn't hear that. I'm gonna start over.